Sparkly CircuitPythonistas, it's Prof G. In this lesson, we'll learn how to light up the 10 NeoPixels on our board, set them to different colors, and let them flash at specific time intervals. Let's get flashy and light up that big learning. Quick note before we start, Adafruit tutorials are excellent, but some CircuitPlayground examples you'll find on the site use special helper libraries that only work with the CircuitPlayground boards. I'm going to avoid those shortcuts and teach the core CircuitPython approach so that you can use the same code with very little modifications on the hundreds of boards that run CircuitPython. I'll assume you've gone through the earlier lessons so that you've got a CircuitPlayground that's set up to run CircuitPython, and you've gone through the lesson on using the online editor. So let's plug the board into the computer. You'll see it mount to your computer with the name CircuitPy. Head to code.circuitpython.org. We'll connect to our board the same way we did before. USB, connect to device, select your board, click connect, blink of swirls, use CircuitPy, then click the open button. We see all the files on our CircuitPy board. Click code.py and click open. Now, as mentioned during the prior lesson, at the time that I'm recording this, there seems to be a bug in the web editor. I'm noticing that my board was automatically put into the REPL mode, and I can tell that on the CircuitPlayground boards because all of my lights are white, and we don't want this. Whenever the lights are all white like this, our code isn't going to execute when we save it. So if you see the situation where your lights are all white, you can fix this by simply clicking on the restart button. The white lights go away. No white lights, you don't even need to click restart. The bug is probably fixed. And if you completed the prior lesson, we entered some print statements. That's what you see as the output on the right. But even if you don't have that in your code.py file, it doesn't matter because, follow me, we're going to highlight all the code in here and delete it. And why don't we also click on the clear button on the right to clear all the messages from the console output. So let's enter our new code. Start with this line, import board, comma, NeoPixel, spell them just as you see here. Everything so far is all in lowercase. Now what we've just written tells our CircuitPython board to extend the base CircuitPython programming language to include the commands to work with our board, in this case it's our CircuitPlayground, and to include commands to work with NeoPixels. NeoPixel is Adafruit's brand name for multicolored LED lights. There are 10 NeoPixels built into CircuitPlayground boards. Now you might wonder, why do I need to tell CircuitPython to use these extra commands? Doesn't it know all of its own commands? And the answer is no, it doesn't. You see, there are lots of things that you can do with CircuitPython. You can work with all sorts of lights, play sound, work with literally hundreds of sensors, all sorts of motors, things like Bluetooth networking, and if the base language included all of these capabilities, we'd need to have much more powerful microcontrollers with a lot more storage. That would make things more expensive and not really more efficient. So instead, each CircuitPython installation includes just a base version of CircuitPython, and we use these import statements to tell CircuitPython, hey, be sure to include these commands for these extra parts of the CircuitPython programming language that I'm going to be using below. You'll hear these extensions to the Python language that allow it to do more things, referred to as libraries or modules. Next, we need to write code that says we're going to be working with the 10 lights on our CircuitPlayground board, and this is how we do it. First, we'll give those lights a name. We'll call them pixels. Then we say what the name pixels refers to, so we'll say equal sign, then follow this with a statement exactly as I'm about to enter. Lowercase NeoPixel, code completion knows about this statement, cool, I can select this to avoid typos, dot NeoPixel with a capital N, capital P, all one word. No code completion here, we will get code completion in PyCharm. Then open parens, the editor will type the closing paren, and in between we'll write board, lowercase, dot, and in all caps, NeoPixel, no S at the end, comma 10. Now here's what you've just typed. You've said, I'm creating something in my code that I'm going to call pixels, and it equals, then we enter a command to set up our lights. We say lowercase NeoPixel, which means we're going to include some extra CircuitPython statements that we've imported with this import NeoPixel statement up here. The dot says, look inside those statements that you've imported, find something called NeoPixel with a capital N, capital P, and this is a special blueprint, which creates the ability to connect to NeoPixel lights. Eventually, you'll learn that these kinds of blueprints in computing are called classes, and just like when you build a house or a car from blueprints, you provide inputs to create the actual object. Well, here, in between the parentheses, we provide inputs to create the lights on our board. The command board says go into the board extension of the CircuitPython language that we've imported here. And behind the scenes, board.allcaps NeoPixel on a CircuitPlayground refers to the lights built into the board. Not all boards have built-in NeoPixel lights. CircuitPlayground boards do. Then we add a comma. This is where we state how many lights we have. For us, that's 10. So we've got this thing called pixels. It refers to all 10 lights on our board. And now we can use pixels to call a special command to turn on all the lights. We do this on our next line. We'll say pixels. That means we're working with the 10 lights we defined up here. Notice code completion knows about the pixels object we just created, and we follow this with dot, the word fill, all in lowercase, open parens, code completion types the close parens, and inside we enter the color we want to use. Now in CircuitPython, one way we can express colors is by enclosing them in parentheses, so we'll type a second open paren, we get the second close paren in here, it's important to have that second set. Now, one way computers refer to colors is by combining the colors red, green, and blue. Believe it or not, mixing these colors will allow you to create literally tens of thousands of different colors, and then we'll type in 3 numbers. They represent the intensity of red, green, and blue, respectively, and that intensity goes from 0, no color, to 255, full color. Let's fill all the lights in with just blue. So we're going to enter 0, no red, comma, 0, no green, comma, 255, full blue. And now, friends, we're going to encounter 2 things that prevent our code from running, and this will provide a good learning opportunity. So let's click save and run the code. Blink of swirls, and gadzooks! We see our first problem. I don't see any blue lights on my board, and in our earlier lesson we mentioned really briefly that if CircuitPlayground code can't run because of an error, the red lights on the board will flash twice every 5 seconds. That's what's happening now. We have an error. And we can also see this if we look at the output after code.py. Here's what this means. Now, traceback shows up when our code has an error, like a command that can't be executed. The second line down here tells us that the error occurred in our code.py file, line number 1. And it says import error, no module named NeoPixel. So here's what's going on. And to explain this, I'm going to take a look at the contents of my CircuitPy board. Now, since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to head to the Finder, click CircuitPy. This shows all the files on my board. And if we look in the folder named lib, I'll click the expansion triangle, and I see there's nothing inside this folder. See that? Nothing. Now, when we use the statement import in line 1, we told CircuitPython we wanted to use the NeoPixel library. CircuitPython automatically knows about all of the board commands. The board commands are automatically built into the version of CircuitPython that we installed on the board, but that little bit of CircuitPython that's on our board doesn't know about NeoPixel commands, so it needs to import these commands from a separate file. To do that, we need to add the library, sometimes called a module. That's why we see the import error no module named NeoPixel. And that library goes in the lib folder that's on our CircuitPy volume. If it helps, you can think about this like adding a dictionary that allows our board to speak NeoPixel. That gives us access to all the NeoPixel commands. So where do we find the NeoPixel libraries? Well, in a future lesson, I'm going to show you how you can install a program called CircUp that will automatically find them on the internet and install them on your board. Unfortunately, it takes a while for us to set that up. So right now, to keep things moving quickly, we're going to download and install the files manually. So to do that, follow along with these steps. Open a new browser tab and head to circuitpython.org. Click Libraries, look under Bundles, and click to download the latest bundle library that's appropriate for the version of CircuitPython that you installed on your board in the prior lesson. For me, that's this one here. You might have a higher number. Just get the number that matches the version of CircuitPython you installed. This will download a zip file. Yours was likely written to your downloads folder. My browser asked me where I want to save this. Find that zip file you just downloaded. You might need to double click to unzip or uncompress the file. And what you find is a folder that has a gnarly name. We no longer need the zip file, so you can delete it. And when we look inside this gnarly named folder, we see other folders. One says examples. There are hundreds of example code files in here, which are great for learning. But the lib folder has a massive number of library files or modules that can be used to extend the CircuitPython language. Now, there are so many in here that they won't all fit on a single board. But if we look at the different libraries in this folder, we can find one named NeoPixel. On the Mac, I can just start to type the word NeoPixel. I'll jump to that word, but very important, this first one that's selected is NeoPixel_SPI.mpy. That's not what I want. I want the one below that that's just neopixel.mpy. So I'm going to open another window and navigate to my CircuitPy volume. That's my board. And I'm going to drag neopixel.mpy from this downloaded folder into the lib folder on my board. Make sure you get it right inside the lib folder. It's got to be in there, not at the top level. And if we head back to the code tab and look at our console output, we can see that the code executed below the error. So the code ran again. Copying a file to CircuitPy restarted the code. So we see a new run down here. It doesn't have any errors. We just see code.py output and then code done running. But ding dang, if we take a look at our Circuit Playground, we don't see our blue lights on. We do see the green light flashes every 5 seconds. Remember, that indicates that our code is done running with no errors. So this is the second problem we have. Code executes top to bottom. But then when our program is done, the Circuit Playground board turns off all of the lights. So what's going on here is our code works, but it runs so fast that we don't even get to see the lights flash on before they turn off. So let's fix things. What we're going to do is we're going to force our program to run continuously and never stop. Below our pixels.fill statement, let's press return and we'll add another statement. You'll notice I sometimes put blank lines in here. I just think it's nicer to add a little bit of space in your code so that it makes things more readable. But below this, we're going to add while, all lowercase, then a space, then true with a capital T, and always end a while line with a colon, the 2 dots, one on top of the other. Then press return and ho-ho, we see the editor indents things. We want to keep that indent. And in here, we're just going to type in the word pass, P-A-S-S, all lowercase, and here's what's going to happen. Our code executes just like before, but when we hit this while true pass section down here, now more on this in the future, but a while statement will run any lines indented below it over and over again as long as whatever is after the while word is true. Now this is going to sound weird, but it makes sense. After the while, we have the word true with a capital T. When is true equal to true? Forever! So it's going to keep executing whatever's indented below this over and over again, which does nothing. But importantly, that means our program never stops, so it's never going to turn off these lights that we filled in up here. So again, this block of code is like saying, while true is equal to true, do everything that's indented. The pass statement does nothing. We go back up to while true. This is called a loop, so we're looping back up to while true. Is it still true? It is. Go down to pass, it does nothing. We loop over and over again infinitely. Our code never ends. Our lights never turn off. We'll use that in most of the programs we write. Let's look at this in action. First, let's click the clear button so we get rid of all the previous print pollution. We'll start fresh, then click on save. Blink of swirls, look over at the Circuit Playground, and sparkly snake friend, will you look at that? All the lights are blue. You lit it up. And if we look over at the console, we see code.py colon, but we never see code done running like we did before. That's because the code is never done running because we're in an infinite loop. So now some challenges for you. Write some code that lights up in all red. Once you get that to happen, change your code so that things light up in all green. And then, smarty, see if you can get things to light up in all purple. Why don't we pause? You can give this a shot. And when you're done, you can resume, and we'll compare answers. Remember, these 3 numbers indicate how much red, green, and blue we want in our lights. We can get things to be red by saying 255, all red, then 0, 0 for no green and no blue. We save this, we get all red. To get it to be green, we change things to 0, 255, 0, save, we're all green, looking good. Well, what should purple be? You can experiment. Maybe it's full blue and full red with no green. We'll try 255, 0, 255. You might think that yours looks purple. I'm not sure if Prince would approve. It's a little pinkish, but you can experiment with different numbers in here to try to tweak this to get something that's looking more purpley. You can search online or ask AI. You can mention you want to use NeoPixels since the NeoPixel colors are often different from colors you'll see on screen. Before we finish this lesson, let me show you how we can get things to flash. Now you might think, hey, can I flash between all 4 colors by cutting out the fill statement here, pasting it indented below my while true statement, and changing the colors so that we've got a fill statement for red, green, blue, and purple. But when we save and run this, yikes, we just see white. Well, what's happening here is the colors flash so quickly because computers run quickly, those colors bleed together and form white. But we can fix this by putting in a delay after each fill statement so we can see that color for a brief period of time. And we do that with a new library. We're going to go up here and add comma time to our import line. This gives us all sorts of time commands. Now we don't have to add the time library to our lib folder since, like board, time is built into the base CircuitPython, but after we fill in a color, we can say on an indented line below this, time.sleep, and between parens, pass in how long in seconds we want to pause. Let's say 0.5 for half a second, and we'll add a half-second pause after each fill. And when we execute our code, this is what happens. We fill in red, wait half a second, fill in green, wait half a second, fill in blue, wait half a second, fill in purple, wait half a second. Then we loop back to the first indented statement under while. We repeat these statements over and over again. Pretty flashy, programmer. Nice work. And for our second lesson, that was some pretty big learning. We learned about the import statement. We imported board, NeoPixel, and time. We added libraries to our board. We learned about RGB colors. We used those in the fill statement. We mixed colors for purple, and we used the time library and sleep function to put a delay in after we filled our colors in, so we got our colors to flash. Feel good about those skills, flashy one? And be sure to come back, because there's more big learning ahead. The next couple lessons will show you how to install CircUp for automatic library installation and PyCharm, which is a much better editor. Once you spend a little bit of time on that, you'll have the basic software installed that my students use to make something awesome.